Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Midlife Crisis with your hosts,
Ashley
and Tracy. Pull up a chair for your seat at the table as we talk about Menopause app.
We both signed up for Balance,
We
right?
both signed up for Balance.
Okay.
You know what? When I signed up, there was something that I was interested in. It was like, oh, sign up and, answer these few short questions and we're going to give you like the secrets to whatever, right? And I don't know what happened, but I missed that part. And then I kind of got...
Once you brought to my attention that one, Balance,
Mm,
I started looking on the App Store at other options.
right.
And holy cow, there's so many, not what I expected at all. So I kind of just started looking through like the ratings and the comments and things like that. One that and you can read most when you go into, look at the apps, they give you like a little blurb on what the app is, what it does.
Right.
The one that kind of resonated with me the most, I think, it was called Health and Her.
Health and Her?
Both of those.
Okay.
Health and Her. Yeah.
Okay.
They both do kind of, they do like an intake where they ask you all these questions. What are your symptoms? How old are you? About your cycle, a bunch of different things.
Right.
So you do all that. And then based off the information that you provide, they have kind of, I wouldn't say remedies, but things you can do to, they give you like tips and pointers on how to handle hot flashes or prevent them, how to sleep better, just a lot of different things. And every day, and again, we talked about this, I am not good at going in every single day and logging
Right.
my symptoms and my mood and how did I sleep and what did I eat and did I work out? Like, first of all, I don't even think about it. 3
Right.
days will go by and I'll be like, I didn't
Right.
even,
Yeah.
what am I doing? But I also just don't really have the time, I guess if it was that important to me, I could set aside the time.
Right.
This was just more of a, let's, see what these are about. I have to say, they both have a plethora of information. If you go, once you get set up, you go into the app, and it gives you all kinds of articles and links and workouts and meditations, like all kinds of different things that you can be doing to feel better or, the one I liked the most though was Health and Her.
Really?
I did.
Okay.
I really liked it. It sends you throughout the day. It sends you reminders like to hydrate.
Oh.
So I'll get a little ding and it'll be like, time to hydrate, drink some water, which for some people, I don't think that's an issue. But for me, it's like, oh yeah, I should do that. Even if it's sitting here on my desk, I don't always stop to take a drink of water. So
I never
that was
hydrate.
cool. It was
Never
like, oh, yeah.
hydrate. Yeah.
So I definitely improved my hydration. It also, mid-afternoon, almost like toward the end of your workday, it was like, okay, time to kind of take a minute and do a breathing exercise. It's your day's coming to an end. You're probably overwhelmed, but it's time to kind of get relaxed.
Okay.
And so I really liked that it did those kinds of things. And it also, as far as like logging all that information, I felt like it was a little more user-friendly.
Okay. So is it more for overall health or do you feel that it's specific to perimenopause and menopause?
I think it depends on a 20-year-old could download this app and enter their information, and it determines whether or not you're actually, in perimenopause or menopause, whatever it might be. So,
okay.
So if you're not, it's not going to send you information regarding that. So, like I said, it asks for your age. It asks for, any symptoms you're experiencing. Where, in your 20s, it could be stress and anxiety. I
Right.
guess it seems to be pretty prevalent in that decade. But it does like Balance. I didn't really notice anything about mood.
Right.
Which I think is also it's important for any age group, but I think it's very important for midlife to kind of track, what you're experiencing and, how bad or how little, or whether it's happiness or depression or anxiety or stress or, it was a really good way to gauge. And this is where it actually really helped me. I've talked a million times in our episodes about, the last year and how crazy it's been for me. And I kind of, paying attention to this app and kind of like really looking at what I was experiencing personally, it made me realize I'm not like getting the joy and excitement that I used to get about things that, always made me happy. And not that they don't anymore, but it's just like, oh yeah, it was fine. And I'm like, that's not cool. That's really not good.
Right.
And I'm really kind of blah. I think I should be. And so I talked to my therapist about it. I'm going to see a psychiatrist and probably get on something to kind of help regulate that. Probably short term, hopefully. It could be circumstantial. But it created that awareness for me. So I found that very useful and helpful.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that the same. But I didn't use that app. So now I'm like, maybe I will download it. I liked Balance initially, just because I thought it was, a new and unique thing, right? But like you said, then you go to the App Store and there's a gazillion apps for menopause. So I signed up for it, but honestly, I'm so bad. I haven't used it.
Okay.
And also,
did you look at any of the others by chance?
I did. Okay. And I do want to share with you. It may or may not be a surprise to you and to our audience of the one that I picked. But this one, I like it. But you know what's interesting? It's from Europe. So, and also you have to pay. There's, when I was looking through the App Store to try to find one, it's like in-app pay. And, so you can download it and you can sign up. But then if you want to do anything, it's like you have to pay. And I was trying to stay away from that. I didn't want to, have to pay for it. I wanted to kind of try it first.
I did pay for the Balance, the Health and Her. I didn't pay anything for that one. I don't think, but yeah, I think it was free, and I think you can pay. I don't think I paid anything for what I've been doing.
Nice. So I found an app. I just happened to stumble upon it, and you're gonna laugh. It is for menopause, but it isn't. It's maybe more like Health for Her. That it's covers a wide range of, just feminine topics, subjects, and stuff like that. And it's something, it's Oprah's Daily Insider.
Oh.
She has, and I thought it was kind of funny, she's created an app now to create a community where people can come together. And like, she has been listening to our show because we use her lists, and we get a lot of our content from her, from Oprah Daily. So every day they send out an email. She's got fantastic content, but of course she's Oprah, right? Yeah, it's called the Oprah Daily Insider, and it's an app. But it is a pay, which is why I wanted to talk about it. But what I thought was funny was because it just shows, I guess, how frugal I can be. But, it's $55 for a year.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, well, then I found a special. It's like /$35 for a year. So I go to check out. I'm thinking, you know what? This would be great research. We use her content all the time. I was really interested in it. So I thought I was going to do it. And as I was going through the purchase, if you will, process, there was a part in there that said promo code. And whenever I see promo code, I don't know about you guys, but I go to Google and I'm like, coupon for, or discount, because you're just leaving money on the table. Well, sure enough, I found that you can get it and sign up on Facebook for $15.
For a year?
For a year. For a year.
Wow.
So that's on our Facebook link. Check it out. Let us know what you think about it. But so I signed up, and then from there, because I kept trying to sign up on the app and it's like the email isn't working. You're not in our network or something.
Oh,
so you have to be in their network, which means you have to be a paid subscriber. So then I took that information and I downloaded the app. I had already downloaded the app, but I signed into the app. So as I'm signing in, you fill out your profile, right?
Right.
So I'm filling out the profiles like name and address and birthday, but I don't think they asked for the year, which I thought was good. I just hate giving out too much personal information, and I usually lie slightly just because I don't want all that information, my address, my birthday, my full name, everything to be out there for everybody to use. So I usually just lie about my birthday, either, by a couple days of the month or generally years, and I'll just drop back 10 years, so, but anyhow, so I'm going through all this stuff and it gets to the part where it says photo. And I'm like, oh, do I have a photo?
Is it required?
I don't think it is, but like anything else, you'd rather have a photo, right? So this is actually it's designed to be a social app, right? So you kind of want it to be, have a photo there, right? Yeah. So I'm like, do I have a picture? So I wanted to tell, which brings me to a funny story that I wanted to tell. So Ashley and I were invited to do an interview for a magazine, and we needed headshots. So we had weeks and weeks and weeks to get them done, and all of a sudden, we never did it, and the time is almost up. So we panic. So I find this AI website. I think it was a website. It wasn't an app, right? It was a website.
Yeah,
so
it was a website.
That for $29, you can take selfies and they turn them into headshots. It had great reviews and a bunch of examples and all this kind of stuff. So I shared it with Ashley. I did it. And then about the same time, maybe an hour or so later, Ashley did it. And it takes, a couple hours, and then they send you all of your photos, right? You can download them and everything. So when you do this, they ask you a bunch of questions, right? Your name, your age, your height, weight. What else did they ask us? Maybe that's it. But then they ask you, they show you different outfits, or they say, what type of clothing would you rather, and just stuff like that. So we both end up doing it, and it takes 2 to 4 hours. The pictures come in, and I got mine. I'm not happy. Some of them don't even look like me. Even look like me at all. I
was really offended at the amount of wrinkles they put on my face. It's like, that does not look, I don't have that many wrinkles. I should have lied about my age.
I know, it's hilarious. So then I'm uploading these images, and I think I put 6 on there. So 3 of you, 3 of me, and then I realized that we were wearing the same clothes. They put us in the same clothes. So when you go through the process of selecting different things, you select different backgrounds and different things, different clothing, but we both selected the same thing for the most part. So I ended up being generous and kind to you and putting the ones I thought looked best of you, and then just slamming stuff in for me because I don't really care. Nobody really knows unless you know me. But I ended up putting one up there that just doesn't look like me at all. But I was wearing a totally different outfit. So I just thought that was what was important. So anyhow, when I was back to the story, thanks for the sidebar, but that was hilarious. It was the funniest thing looking at those photos. But for $30.
What are the chances? There were so many options.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy that we picked the same clothing.
So when they asked for a picture, I was like, oh, well, let me just look back through these pictures. And I actually thought about it like, oh, should I update my, personal Facebook picture or stuff at work? And, but no, I like the pictures that I have that are like 10, 20 years old that I already used. But anyway, so I looked through and I used one for this app. So anyhow, thanks for listening. I know it was a long story, but I love it. So it's designed to be an app similar to maybe some of the menopausal apps or health apps, but I think it's designed specifically for women, but you can communicate with other people. It's a network, right? So it says find your village. And I haven't even gotten this far yet. So menopause, So when you go through, of course, they ask a bunch of different questions. What are you passionate about? I put my family. I mean, what else are you going to
Right.
put? But find your village. It says menopause, weight, relationships, parenting, grief, caregiving, LGBTQ plus. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. And then Oprah's weekly intentions. And you can select things like books and reading, which I didn't because I don't. But she does a book club, right? That's very
Yeah,
infamous.
it's a very popular book club. Yeah.
And I just saw something, it was actually an interview, and she interviewed Lisa Marie Presley's daughter
Oh,
about the new book. Did you see that?
yes. In fact, my son works at the Strand in New York, and Oprah was there one day, and it was the same time that Lisa Marie's daughter was she finished this book that Lisa Marie started and published it. And my son held an event to launch it. I have a video of her interview.
No
it's
way.
really cool. Anyway, I got a copy of the book.
I think it's Riley. I think her daughter's name is Riley. Yeah.
Riley,
Did you get the book? Okay. So she talked about it, and they were actually at Graceland. But anyhow, if you sign up for that, you can also get, I think this $15 annual membership will get you onto Oprah's book club. I'm not a big reader, so I'd rather just wait and, if she does an interview.
An audiobook.
Yeah, do an audiobook or just watch her at the interview. It was really a moving, interview, I thought, because I remember seeing Lisa Marie Presley at an event just a couple days before she passed. And it was to celebrate the movie, right? A most recent movie that had been released, but she looked horrible. She just looked,
so sad.
Yeah, it was.
I think she really took a turn for the worse after her son passed away, because it was shortly after that she passed.
Yeah. She kept him in a room.
Ugh.
Did you read the book yet?
No, I haven't.
Well, the daughter was sharing. I don't read. I'm not a reader. But the daughter was sharing, and the daughter had taken her mom in. So then when her brother passed, it was actually at her house, but she had there was a long period of time, weeks maybe, which maybe turned into a month or two before they were going to have the service. And so they kept him in a room in her house.
That's insane.
It kind of is a little bit.
That's
It is
just weird.
But her book club is renowned. And anyhow, so I was really excited about this app. And it covers a lot of different things. So yes, menopause. And we have also referenced Oprah many times on our show, and some lists that she's put together. Her and Maria Shriver are just, big advocates and spokespersons for menopause. But I'm actually finding now more and more, and I'm not on social a lot, but when I'm on it, I've seen everybody from, of course, Valerie Bertinelli and, but all of the big celebs, right, are all talking about it now. Cameron Diaz, I saw her recently, and then there's the whole no makeup era that's going on, which I love with women that are aging and maturing. So, but I think the menopause would be really good for me. I think where I'm struggling with the menopause thing is, although I have symptoms still, like you were saying, you enter in, when was your last cycle? Well, 2017, okay?
Right.
Just so I feel like I'm more of a senior.
I have ablation, so sometimes I don't know.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And there's women who have had hysterectomies that are now going through menopause. So yeah, I think stuff like that makes it really hard to decipher. But there's, like you said, there's still symptoms.
There are symptoms, and the moment I thought they were going away, I don't know if I manifested them back, but they all of a sudden the last 60 days or so seem to be coming back a little bit more.
It could just be a hormonal thing.
Yeah. And I don't do the hormones, so I try to go natural. So, but she also, if you sign up, and I realized this with the $15 discounted membership through Facebook, but that you don't get as many of the free things. Like there was a journal that she was going to send if I was to pay more, but it's okay. I don't need her journal. I'd rather pay $15, but she also promotes the life you want. And it does qualify for that. So I'm interested in receiving that information and just seeing more about it. And
it sounds like a really great app.
like you said, I'm just not finding, I feel like lately having all of my grandchildren around lately with daycare problems and school drop-offs and pickups and just trying to help their moms and dads out, that it kind of gives me a purpose. It sounds sad. And I'm like, oh, I'm just running amok here and, go to the grade school. And then I got to come back and grab the middle school child and then go to the high school kid. And then meanwhile, I have my 4-year-old grandchild that's on a wait list for preschool, and apparently isn't going to go as it's already October. The clock is ticking and it doesn't look like she's going to get in this year, but lugging them all around, it does seem to give me purpose, but I'm not finding the joy in things and I'm kind of melancholy. Maybe it's because I don't have any trips planned or it's just been so hot. All I've done is just draw the blinds and stay in the air conditioning. So, and it's been a few years since I've actually had to hunker down all summer. And it's been a long, brutal summer. And I know just not for us, for everybody, but for whatever reason, I do feel the joy is gone. Of course, everybody wants to get it back. So I'm hopeful that some of this will help, but there's a broad spectrum is one of the reasons why I like it.
Yeah. It sounds it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I don't know anybody that doesn't like Oprah, honestly, but I just love the things that she's doing. And of course she has staffs upon staffs to come up with, different content and do different research and stuff. But she's actually trying to do what we're doing now and create a community, with this social app. So anyhow, and also you can get into, I believe that your $15 membership will get you into the Oprah Daily. So you get an email every day with lots of tips and tricks and products and lists that we've used before, just keeping, parallel with her. And like I said, I feel like she's on the cutting edge of trends and upcoming things. And I'd be interested. She's got a reading room, the LGBTQ plus. I don't know why that's hard for me to say. She's reflecting on how the world's changed for the community, in her lifetime, in my lifetime, in your lifetime, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you made a comment about your daughter was in a new relationship and he was with his parents out of state. And then you had mentioned that you weren't sure how his parents would feel about her parents, right? Being gay. But it never even occurred to me. I'm like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that somebody would have a problem with it, but maybe it's because it's just but and it's out there more than I know, but I was not even on my radar.
Yeah. I think thank God for friends like you that it doesn't even faze you. It's,
I know.
That doesn't make a person who they are,
I knew you before you. Well, no, because you were bouncing back and forth, right? And so you were married to a man when I first met you and then now, but yeah.
So, it's definitely something, if you're living that lifestyle and, it can affect every aspect of your life. It can affect your job. It can affect, your friends, and their relationship or your kids, and their relationship with their friends and how their parents feel about it when your kids are young. Or even now, like I said, she's dating someone who comes from a very conservative family. And I don't know where the relationship will go, but that's a concern that I have. How is his family going to feel about it? Not that it matters, but, it could put pressure on them and affect their relationship in some aspect. But it's quite possible that it couldn't. You just never know. But it's always something that crosses my mind, so.
Right.
It could be challenging, but no, I love that Oprah is bringing some awareness around that.
Yeah. And, my daughter is in an interracial relationship right now. So that is just an eye opener to me as well. And again, I just think what? But that I kind of knew I just tried to prep her. There might be people out there that
Absolutely.
have
Yeah.
something negative to say. People, for some reason, feel the need to say stupid
Love is love,
things.
people. Love is love.
Love is love. All right. And that just about wraps it up for today. Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Midlife Crisis. Embrace the change.
Join the conversation on our website at letstalkmidlifecrisis.com or our Facebook or Instagram and YouTube channels. We'd love to hear from you guys.